let's get into this thing. We got NWA WCW Saturday night from July the 19th of 1986, sponsored by the Wrestling Palace. Go check out my buddy Arturo on Facebook. Just search the Wrestling Palace on Facebook. Hook him up, call him, see what he's got. He's got all kinds of wrestling memorabilia. If you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, look him up and go to his store. Let's get into this thing, man. Doc, we are not in studio again, and I gotta say, I'm enjoying the non-studio on the road Saturday night. Harper, are you?
Bro, this shit is spoiling my ass.
Yeah.
This is like having one of them rear view cameras in your fucking car. This is great. Fuck that mirror. I mean, this is like a whole new world.
Bruh, it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the matches on this one aren't all that great. But we close things out on Hotter Than Six Suns. But yeah, it's a good look. Doc, what were your thoughts on the look of the arena? We're in Columbia, South Carolina, by the way. I believe in the Township Auditorium.
Well, when you watch this shit, it makes you understand why the old guys are so fucking bitter now.
Yeah, because everybody's into it. We'll get into it. Let's save it.
Everybody was making money and banging bitches and boozing it up and having the time of their life, and then we went and ruined all that shit.
Amen, brother. Amen. So, well, we get into this thing, and here's the thing. First match up, it is Don Cornette versus Golden Terra. Long match. Gotta be honest, not very entertaining.
Well, I mean,
go ahead, Hawk.
It went a hell of a lot longer than I thought it was going to go.
Jesus.
It was long, dude. It was like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
10 minutes. Cornette does win with a top rope clothesline. Doc, your thoughts on it?
No, I'm gonna pass.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You told me to start. You told me to start trying to be more positive. So, in lieu of that, I'll just pass.
Okay. Harper, so I'll keep it moving. Well, here's the thing. We're on the road, or we're in the arena, and we got a surprise because I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to hit the play button, and this is the first promo, and let's hear what's going on here.
All right, thank you, Tony Schiavone and David Crockett. It's great to be here with you on World Championship Wrestling, and let me welcome our co-host, Jim Cornette. Jim, I got to say this, everywhere I see you and every time I see you, I see this big man Bubba right here with you. Why
Rogers,
Bubba?
Big Bubba, no trouble. And I'm going to talk to some of my friends today on the program, Bob Caudle, but I'm also going to talk to one guy who's not my friend, Dusty Rhodes, American Dream, the modern-day John Wayne. You have, in the recent past, found out how indestructible, how invulnerable, how unstoppable Big Bubba Rogers is. Big Bubba Rogers is the toughest, the roughest, the meanest man in the face of the earth. And let me tell you that, Bubba comes from a bad neighborhood. As a matter of fact, in Bubba's neighborhood, you go in a restaurant, on the menu they got broken leg of lamb. As a matter of fact, in the autumn, in Bubba's neighborhood, the leaves don't fall off the trees, they commit suicide. As a matter of fact, in Bubba's neighborhood, the muggers, they don't use a gun, they insert the bullets manually. And Dusty Rhodes, you have found out now how bad Big Bubba is. You tried Big Bubba, and you couldn't do nothing with him. And I'm going to say this, he told me, and he told Mama, because he still gives a regular report to Mama. He said, you know something? I don't like that Dusty Rhodes very much anymore. It's starting to get a little personal. And Dusty Rhodes, pretty soon, it may come down to the fact that the world of professional wrestling is not big enough for you and Bubba at the same time. And Big Bubba, he ain't no professional wrestler, so he don't do things the way that you're used to having them done. He'll get you one way or he'll get you another. But mark my words, he'll get you. And Baby Doll, that big fat pig that's always following Dusty Rhodes around, well, she's going to have a big flat pig snout by the time that the American Bashes are over with in Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium on August the 2nd. I promise you that, because Baby Doll, one way or another, few punches don't a war win. You're going to be mine, darling, all night long, as my good friend Rick says.
All right, and fans, we'll be right back.
Bob Caudle in the house, Doc.
Oh yeah, that was a pleasant surprise right there. You notice they were all wearing like a white suit or some shit? I was like, Jesus Christ, what kind of Miami Vice bullshit is this?
Yeah, they were. I thought the promo was kind of mild. What did you think, Hopper?
Yeah, I mean, he just hit the PowerPoints and told you, what you needed to know, and that was it.
And it wasn't so much as a promo as much as it was, that's the opening, like, of them on the show. Like, they right. didn't really have an opening, so like they normally do. So there was a difference there with that. But Doc, anything else from you on that one?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I liked about that is when he said that Bubba's not a wrestler, That automatically sets it up so that if Bubba's green in the ring with Dusty, there's a reason for all that. He's just a fighter, a mauler. He's a bad dude. He's not a wrestler.
Yeah, and I think we kind of got a hint of that, too, when he was clocked with the chair and it just shattered across his head. And
he pulled a Killer Kyle and said, nah, nah, nah.
Yeah, for real. But I did have a Smoky Mountain flashback as soon as I saw those two together. Good old Bob Caudle. But anyway, so we keep going. We got the next matchup. It's the Warlord versus Vernon Deaton. Warlord he's very robotic. He wins quickly. He's a hired gun to combat Big Bubba, if you really think about it. He's with Baby Doll for that reason. Other than that, I didn't have anything. Hopper, you?
No.
Okay. Doc, you?
He doesn't look very flexible.
No,
I said that last week. He's stiff.
He's like a tree.
Right.
He's like that one action figure you had when you were a kid, or your toys that wouldn't bend. You're like, shit, this thing won't do anything.
Like he's like the Kmart one.
Yeah.
No, Hopper. He's like the LGN figures.
Yeah.
Them things didn't move. They were just big rubber dudes. I mean, it was like.
I've always wondered how much money they made off those fuckers. Because it's a piece of fucking rubber with shitty paint on it.
The paint came off.
Yeah. Like, how much money did it cost to make that shit?
I don't know, man. They couldn't have cost much. I mean, they didn't spend a lot on that. You know that.
No.
I like the AWA figures were better to me because they were flexible.
Mm-hmm.
You could do things with them, but oh well. Okay, let's keep moving. Next up, we got Arn Anderson. Let's hear from Arn, man.
I'm here at ringside with Ole and Arn Anderson, and guys, Arn, you're embroiled in a match with the Rock and Roll Express, trying to prove who's the #1 contender for the tag team title. And I got to say this, I recognize your ability. You deserve to be in contention for the World Tag Team title. The Rock and Roll Express doesn't.
Well, Jimmy, thank you very much. But when you're trying to determine a #1 contender for anything to do with tag team wrestling, and your name's Anderson, you're the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, it's automatically understood you are the #1 contender. So we've established that going in. But what we're talking about is the last bash, Fulton County Stadium, on the 2nd, August 2nd. We're talking a bunkhouse match, which means anything goes, Rock and Roll Express. That means the Andersons can do, if we want to take our cowboy boot, take this heel, grind it in your forehead, look around out back somewhere, find a piece of lead pipe, use it on the back of your head. That's what we can do. Just remember one thing, Rock and Roll Express. The Four Horsemen do what they want to do without the NWA's consent. This time they've gave us our consent, so what that means, you give us a license to steal, that's exactly what we're going to do, is steal.
Only like I told Arn, the Andersons are legends in tag team wrestling. If anybody deserves to be up there in contention, it's you guys.
No, we don't deserve to be in contention. We deserve to be the champions. And I'll tell you what, we're looking at that #1 contention as a first step. And I want you to take a look at the second step. Bunkhouse match. How stupid can the rock and roll people be? I tell you, Robert Gibson and that Ricky Morton, they had a lobotomy or something, because they've gone into a match where there are no rules. And the Andersons might cheat? Well, of course we're going to cheat. Here, you don't call it cheating, though. You call it a bunkhouse match. Anything goes. Gibson, Morton, you better have your insurance paid up, have an ambulance sitting out there. We're just dead serious, and you just might end up part of that in Fulton County Stadium.
Let's go to the ring.
That's how you fucking do it, pal. Damn.
Of course we're going to cheat.
I gotta ask Harper a question before we analyze this promo. Harper, what the hell did Ole? What was he carrying? What was that?
Part of it, it fucking looked like a piece of a
hospital cart or some shit.
Right? Yeah, like the gurney.
I don't know
or
what
something.
What was on his shirt? What was on his shirt?
It was let's see,
evil, mean, and nasty.
Nasty, yeah.
I know that. All my note was, Ole's shirt is fucking fantastic, but I watched this 6 days ago, so I couldn't remember what it said.
Yeah, it says evil in white, mean in red, and nasty is in white. And it's that old school, like, iron-on letters, because that's all you had in the mid-'80s. You didn't have the fancy stuff we got now with this screen print. And so, but it was awesome, Doc. I loved it. In the promo, the promo, Doc, what did you think?
Well, of course we're going to cheat. And, we don't care what the NWA says, but this time it's legal. Dude, And the only thing that's a little suspect, but I understand why you got to let it go, is Corny standing there like trying to give them the, oh, I like you guys. But then they're turning around going, we should be the champs. And Corny's like, I'm the champ, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, this shit's setting up something that for the end of the show that's just lights out, pal.
Yeah, agree. Hopper, anything else from you?
I was thinking, isn't it kind of weird what they want what the Midnight Express have? You know, the fucking
yeah, and
belt.
and back then you didn't really see like heel versus heel. So
Yeah.
they really, I agree, but it's funny because, bruh, they're talking about here they go again. They don't care. They don't give two shits. Arn's got a boot. That's one thing, to hit somebody with a boot, and then he's talking about grabbing a pipe and laying somebody out with a pipe. And we're gonna do it without the NWA's consent. Well, no shit. I mean, you can't just bludgeon somebody with a pipe. But I tell you what, when you watch that, even now, 31 years later, I sat there and went, "Those two sumbitches mean business.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't playing." And that like it comes through the TV at you. That was my main note. So, yeah. Ole's line, Doc and Harper. He told the Rock and Roll, make sure you got your insurance policies paid up.
He also called them the rock and roll people.
Yeah, like who the fuck are you?
He sounded like he was 112 years old.
Yeah, those damn rock and roll people.
Those
Pill
rock
poppers.
and rollers, that newfangled music palette's been around for 35 years.
With their hair.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's keep moving. Next match is...
Ole is the wrestler most likely to tell you to get off his lawn. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. He might not even tell you. He just might throw a brick at you and hope you get the message if it misses you.
You might get a warning shot from the front porch.
Right. The next match is Crusher Khrushchev versus Todd Champion. It's competitive, I'll say that, but Khrushchev wins with the Russian sickle. Hopper, did you have anything from it?
It was nice to see him work his arm. It made sense.
Yep.
Todd Champion. He was the guy with the fireman and the soldier and all, huh?
I don't remember.
In the early 90s?
The Firebreakers?
Something like that. But
Was
they were
that
like
them?
the Patriots. Like one of them was a soldier and the other one was a fireman.
Oh, man, you're educating me. You got to remember, early 90s, I checked out for a little while.
You were down there trying to talk to...
I was looking for the next Sasha Banks. I mean,
you were you were talking to LaQuanda down at the SWAT
That's
meet.
Nice. That's real nice.
We know about you.
Yeah.
That's nice. I'm not sure, Hopper. One of the loyal hashtag BTT Army listeners on at BTT_podcast will chime in. I'm not.
Well, don't chime in unless you're a patron, and if you're not a patron, maybe you should become one.
God, I thought you were about to do something else there. Doc, what did you have from the match? Anything?
Oh, not a damn thing.
Okay, I figured that. Well, so right after that, we got...
I'll be honest, I'm not really here to talk about Saturday night. I'm here to talk about one thing and one thing only.
What's that?
Ric Flair, dude.
Oh, he's trying to mail in the regular episode today for the Ric Flair episode. So let's get to the next promo. Damn, Doc. Let's get to the next promo. We got Dusty with Baby Doll, who was on the Ric Flair 30 for 30 last night. Here's the promo.
Fans, here they are, the American Dream and his beauty, Baby Doll. Dusty, looks like it may come down to you and that world champion.
You know, Bob Collins, she is a beauty. And Jim Cornette's finding out what kind of beauty she is. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. You know, anytime you put anybody in a steel cage of any kind, for any reason, it's risky business. When you put the world's heavyweight champion, Dusty Rhodes, in a steel cage, that's riskier business. Let me tell all the skeptics in television land, all the senators and mayors and governors throughout this country right in, Dusty Rhodes want to make personal appearances. I don't need to make personal appearances at this point in time in my career. I am on the top of my game. I'm on the prime of my game. I ain't passed nothing up, baby. And I ain't gonna pass this up. They gonna construct with handmade materials the steelest cage in the history of the world. and they're going to take the two greatest premier athletes in professional wrestling, and they're going to put it inside. And Jim Crockett and Bob Geigel are going to put up that $40,000 piece of gold just to find out if I'm really on top of my game, just to find out if I am in my prime, just to find out if Ric Flair is just plain lucky. Being world heavyweight champion takes a mighty great man. Being able to keep it for a period of time takes even a greater man. To hold it twice, as Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, has, we don't have to talk about kind of man I am, do we, doll? Yes, we know, baby. So, on top of my game, if you will, in the prime of my profession, if you will, when Reggie steps up and hits one about 900 feet, and all them kids just watch him say, someday I'm going to be like the Reds. Well, in wrestling, they say, someday I maybe be like the Dream. Because in the cage, I will take the world's heavyweight title for the third time. And then the senators, the governors, the doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs will say, Dusty Rhodes, woo, he's in his prime, Daddy. He's in his prime.
All right, the American Dream. Fans, right now, let's go back to the ring.
I love Bob Caudle. Let's go back to the ring. Harper, what'd you think there?
I was kind of lost in it when you talk about the people hitting him up wanting to meet him, like the governors.
He was just rambling right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was just kind of. It seemed like he was just rambling.
Yeah, I think he got the point across about the cage match coming up with him and Flair, but he did that. He did a little rambling there. Yeah. Anything else, Harper?
No. Move
All
on
right.
to Doc.
Doc, what's up? Anything? What'd you have?
It's weird because, like, the Reggie Jackson thing was kind of odd. I guess he was trying to make the thing that Reggie wasn't past his prime, but Reggie was in the second to last year of his career right there, so he kind of was past his prime. I also like the fact that, because Dusty's been there and done it, when a lot of this was but when he talks about the fact that how great you got to be to win it, he's the only guy other than Rick there that knows that. So there's a believability to that.
Yeah, that's true, because I think up until right this point right here, I want to say Rick's like 700 days into his title run or something. It's some ridiculous number. Trust me on this. He's had it for.
That means he's jerked off 1,400 times.
Fuck.
He's had it for a while at this point. So, he's had the title for a little while. So, yeah, I mean, look, Dusty's promising he's going to win the NWA title in the cage, and that's what I took from it. He did.
The steeliest of cages.
The steeliest of cage, yeah. But I love Dusty with the riskier business. The riskier business. Damn, that used to get me. So, next matchup is Nelson Royal versus Mitch Snow. Nelson Royal wins in an uneventful match. I'm going to assume no one's got anything from that because it really was
hold on.
Oh, shit.
Who are these guys? Did y'all Google them?
Well, Nelson Royal is the hardbody Harper of the NWA.
That's nice.
You don't even know why.
Why are you saying that? I mean, I know who Nelson Royal is, but why are you saying he's the hardbody Harper of the NWA?
Because the motherfucking bell rang for this match, and he was still taking off his jacket and wandering around, and he was late, just like Harper is every fucking week.
Okay.
I'm watching Stranger Things, man.
Right.
Did you get it? You got into that, Harper?
Yeah.
I had a bunch of people on Twitter hit me up about like shows to watch. I did start Better Call Saul though, and I like it. It's It's pretty good.
You two will watch anything.
Yeah, right.
You know what I
almost
watched?
said something real classy to you. Almost said something real classy. But we'll move on. We'll move on from here. Because next up, we got Tully and J.J. Dillon, and they're going to cut a promo. Here it is.
Bubba and I, we just been talking to Tully Blanchard Enterprises, the administrative director, James J. Dillon, and national heavyweight champion Tully Blanchard, and the last Great American Bash right there in Atlanta could be the best one for you guys, maybe the worst one for Ronnie Garvin.
Well, you know, Jim Cornette, it's going to be the worst one for Ronnie Garvin, old glass jaw Garvin. But, you know, I was listening to Dusty Rhodes a few minutes ago, and he wants to take down Ric Flair and take that $40,000 belt. Ronnie Garvin wants to take me down. The Rock and Roll wants to take Ole and Arn down. Everybody wants to do something to the Horsemen. Well, that's fine. You keep talking, and your people keep crawling in the ring, and the Horsemen are going to keep walking out with all the glory. Because that's the way it is. Ronnie Garvin, you got on national TV and you started screaming and hollering, you're going to knock Tully Blanchard out. You're going to teach him how to fight. You're going to teach me everything. Well, Ronnie Garvin, I'm still out here on national television and I'm still holding the National Heavyweight Championship. And you know, Ronnie Garvin, I'm still smiling. I got all my teeth. I'm not all beat up and ugly, no broken noses. So that hands and fists of stone of yours ain't quite getting the job done. But you know, where are you at? Little hurt here, little nick here, little crunch here. Well, Fulton County Stadium, Ronnie Garvin, it's going to be your end. It's going to be your Waterloo because I'm tired of messing with you. I'm tired of the risky business boys. I'm tired of Dusty Rhodes' big mouth, Magnum TA doing this, all these guys doing this, and ain't nobody doing nothing. Nobody's getting the job done. It's all a bunch of talk. The Horsemen are where it's at. James J., can you add anything to that?
Well, I think Ronnie Garvin's going to find out that Tully Blanchard has the Great American Bash punch, because when Tully Blanchard hits him with ordinary tape around his fist, he's going to think that the Sky Jumpers have come through for a second run, but they're going to be the birds you're seeing, and you're going to think the fireworks started early, but that's just going to be the stars in your eyes. That's just how it happens to be.
And we'll be back right after this.
Doc, I'll throw it to you first this time. What'd you think?
Well, I think given the recent bad blood between me and JJ, I won't say anything about that.
Bad blood. JJ don't know who the hell you are. JJ don't have a clue who the hell you are, man. Good Lord.
But
you know, sometimes you're a mark for yourself. You know that? Because you really believe that dude on JJ's show was talking about you.
I have all the Docaholics to do that for me. Now,
okay.
You know, Tully cut a hell of a promo right there, though.
That shit was great.
He does that all the time.
I'm a prick.
Forget.
It's like, I'm a prick, but I'm still here. You couldn't get rid of me. I got the gold. What you gonna do? You didn't do anything. And it's just, man. He's under your skin, but he's got just enough cachet with that belt that you can't say, no, you're wrong, because he's got the gold.
I mean, he does it all the time. He said in that one, well, Harper, I'll go to you first, because I got a note that I want to share with both of y'all after we talk about this.
I love how he points out that his punch doesn't do a goddamn thing because he still looks good. And he still got the title. So your punches don't mean shit. And there's truth to it. It's true.
He's an arrogant prick. And he just doesn't care. And it's like he's this snobbish, arrogant prick. He's an ass. He's like the perfect smug heel. And then he said a line in there that's funny. Everyone wants to do something to the Horsemen. But let me just throw this, stat out there to y'all. Just an observation. This is July 19th into the Bash at this point. No one has taken one belt from the Horsemen yet, pal. Nope. Like, Rick still got his, Arn's got his, Tully's got his. Just pointing that out. So, they talk a lot of shit, but they're backing it up so far. Even though they're cheating, it's booked right. This is great. You had to hate them after the way they talked and treated people usually. So that's all I had. Harper, anything else?
Nuh-uh.
Doc, you?
Mm-mm.
So after that, there's a Great American Bash update, and they have a replay of Cornette getting decked in the back of the head. My God, he got crushed. Cottle updates us on the Bash. We are told Magnum is currently down 3-0 in the best of 7. And then I am going to play this rock and roll promo, and just pay attention to Ricky Morton at the end of it, because Gibson can't cut a promo. He just can't. But Ricky Morton, just listen to him.
That are going to really have a very busy night in Atlanta on August 2nd. Here they are, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson. Robert.
How you doing, Bob? It's all going to start right there at the American Bash, August the 2nd at Fulton County Stadium right there in Atlanta. You know, we got a bunkhouse match with the Anderson brothers, the Anderson's cousins, whatever they want to call themselves. It's a bunkhouse match. I saw them guys there earlier. They had a big boot in the hand and something else in the other hand, so they're going to put us out of professional wrestling. Let me tell you something, guys. A lot of men have tried to do that. A lot of guys have failed. Right there in Atlanta Stadium, we're going to show them just what rock and roll is all about, bro.
That's right, Bob. You know, I can't wait to the Great American Bash at the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium because it is the beginning of the Rock and Roll Express Super Summer Sizzling Tour. And, baby, we're coming to get down. I'm telling you what it's all about, and I can't wait again because Jimmy Cornette, before too long, baby, the NWA World Tag Team belts are going back around our waist. And the funny thing about it, there's nothing that you're going to be able to do about it. And like you said, Bob, the scissor starts off right there at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium where you see myself and Captain Lewis and the Gator Tail Band as we step on stage, brother, and play some of that good old Southern rock. Right along with one of our best friends, Mr. Dave Allen Cole. So Atlanta, get ready, baby, and hold on tight because we are coming to explode like dynamite. Woo!
August 2nd, Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, fans. The Great American Bash. All right, back to the ring.
Am I the only one that caught Ricky there saying he couldn't wait for the Super Summer Sizzling Rock and Roll Tour to begin so he can get in on some high-class rat action?
Might as well just name it the Seaman Soaking Summer Soiree.
Okay. Harper, your thoughts? Anything there besides what Doc just said?
The guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's there to kick ass. He's there to kick ass, bang some rats, and then sing some Leonard Skinner shit
with fucking David Allen Coe.
Right, which Jesus.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Hillbilly Jim and the Cooter McGraw Band, or whatever the fuck that was. Yeah. Gee, is there any genre of music other than country music, which we're talking about kissing cousins here, that makes you more just tense, Menace, than Southern rock and roll?
I wouldn't say tense. It's just, I'm like, man.
The Allman Brothers, the Leonard Skinner, the Molly
38 Special.
38 Special. Just really making you feel like you're not welcome at the event.
That's nice, Doc.
Well, here's the thing. Somebody's going to, one of our know-it-all patrons, probably not a Docaholic, is going to go, you need to tell Doc that the Allman Brothers had a black drummer. I already know that, pal.
Hey, Jimi Hendrix was black.
That's not Southern rock, jackass.
I didn't say it was. I'm just saying.
But I can see how you would think that, being who you are.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
You know next to nothing about rock and roll. We've been doing this for 2.5 years. You don't say a word about music until you bring up.
I like Guns N' Roses.
Well, Slash is half black. There you go.
That has nothing to
tell
do
me
with
next.
it.
Living Colors better than Led Zeppelin?
Yes, I will tell you that.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
I like those dudes, man. I like their music.
Lenny Kravitz reinvented rock and roll.
Nah, I wasn't much of a Kravitz fan.
Well, you don't like Jews, so I can see how you wouldn't like Lenny Kravitz.
What are you talking about?
Kravitz? He's half Jewish.
Jews? Where is that coming from? I love Jews.
He's half black too.
Yeah. His mom was mom of the Willises on the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Roxy Roker, dude.
This is going off the rails into a discussion I really don't. Has nothing to do with.
Well, here's the problem, and here's the problem. We have now just figured out that I am blacker than the Menace.
What the hell? Okay.
I got more soul than the Menace does.
Moving right along. I think at Fake Stan Lane would disagree with you there because he swears up and down the Hennessy juice that I constantly drink is proves exactly what. Well, he claims to know what I am based on that.
Let me give a little teaser for what's to come. I can attest that the Hennessy was flowing over at your shack last night because the text messages I was getting during the 30 for 30 got increasingly more scandalous about what you wanted to do to certain people. So
okay, well, I mean, I did send out a tweet to tell Triple H to go fuck himself.
That's one of
which violated my cease and desist order, but we'll leave it at that. And so I was even called out on it by a few people on Twitter. So let's keep moving. I don't want to get in any more legal trouble here. It's been a while since I had to call my attorney. Next match is Sam Houston versus Tully Blanchard. Now, this was a good old school match. I like this one. Of course, Tully wins, but it was good. And say what you want about Sam Houston. He's over here. The fans, they're behind him. Tully hits him with the slingshot suplex after a hard-fought match. Harper, any thoughts on this match? Because I had a feeling you kind of would like this one, and I don't know your thoughts, but I'm thinking that.
This was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And for a second, I thought he was going to fucking win.
Sam had a real good showing. I mean,
he did.
I agree.
They fucking loved him.
I want to say they gave him about 10 minutes here, and he's over. I mean, the crowd is behind him. They hate Tully. I mean, so Tully did his job there, but I agree.
Yes.
This
is one of those that you don't have a lot of. I don't have a lot of notes on, but if you think about it, this would be better than any match you'd get back in the studio, and it's not the main event on this show. So in and of itself, this match is it's okay, but when it's not the main event of this show, it's like, oh shit, you mean there's more to come?
Yeah. This was good.
It was entertaining because both guys could go. And it wasn't the main event done in 3 minutes in the studio. I'm really not wanting to go back to the studio, pal.
Yeah, me neither.
I say while they're out on the bash, we go over and sabotage the studio, like set it on fire or some shit. And then they'll just have to stay out on the road and showing us things from around the South.
Okay.
You know what I was thinking?
What's that?
You think one of the reasons why they showed this on television was because WWE had the Saturday night main events were like really hot at that time? Do you think like this was something to like counter that?
I think they were out on the road and the bashes weren't selling, and they were like, "Look how cool it is to come to see this shit."
I think so too, because if you remember, last week or 2 weeks ago, Shivani made mention in the show. He's like, the next TV taping has been canceled. We won't have it, but they still had a show the next week. So I think, like Doc said, man, I would love to know the real answer, but I get the feeling you got that different atmosphere. Don't get me wrong, I like the studio. I mean, look, these promos in the studio, not that they're bad on the road, because they're still good, but man, you think back to everything to our childhood, man, these studio promos are just ridiculous. But the one thing you don't get in the studio is the energy. You don't get that because you only got 100, 150 people in the studio at the most. So, but at these arenas, I mean, last week we had probably close to 7,000 in Dorton, and this week we got a couple thousand more in a freaking auditorium. So you want that, it generates that excitement, and maybe it'll help. Hey, look what's going on here, man. Y'all got to come out to these big buildings. And I agree with Doc. I think he's spot on with that. But so we'll be back in the studio before long, with that being said. Because it's a while before they go back out on the live show. It's where we start doing it not in the studio. Now, we got a couple of promos I'm not going to play. I hadn't planned on it. We got Crusher Khrushchev.
God, thank God.
Wow. You want to tell us how you really feel, Harper?
Dude, that shit was horrible.
It was bad.
The fucking Crusher one?
God.
What's funny about that promo is he blames everyone but the guy he was in the ring with when he blew his knee out, and that's Sam Houston. Like, he's wrestling Sam, but he blamed the Warriors. It's just kind of weird to me, but we'll keep moving. Ronnie Garvin is after that, and to be honest, he cut this same promo in Smoky Mountain in '93 when he said the same thing about Paul Orndorff when he was trying to calm down Tim Horner. Like,
yeah,
he did. It's the same thing. Like, you got to get into their mind. That was my main note. Doc, did you have anything more from that?
You're not supposed to try to tie this shit together, pal.
It's the same promo. He literally cut the same promo. So, Harper, anything about Garvin's?
No, it was the same shit.
So after Garvin is Magnum TA, though. I will play that because if you remember, I said earlier, it's 3-0 in favor of Nikita. So Magnum is down. Let's hear
Backs against the wall.
That's right. So let's hear Magnum and what he's got to say.
Fans, here with me, Magnum TA. Magnum, a lesser man would really be discouraged. He would be down. He'd be ready to give up. I know you're not. But, Magnum, the wrestling world is wondering, can you come back down 3-0 to big Nikita Koloff?
Well, of course, Bob Keitel. That goes without saying. You know, I'm no quitter. And the people out there that have been following the bashes, that have seen the occurrence of events, all know how Nikita Koloff has come to attain all 3 of these victories. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, for the man to be proud about. And I heard the words of Crusher Khrushchev out here talking about how his comrade was on his way to his highest achievement thus far, the United States Heavyweight Championship. Well, where is Nikita anyways? He's already sitting back planning his future as the United States Heavyweight Champion. He's a long, long way from taking that away from me. Because, see, he made a very, very important mistake. He had me hurt real bad, where he should have finished me off completely. Because I told you, as long as I had 1 ounce of breath in my body, that I would keep coming for you till I took you out. Well, now I'm back 100%. No more injuries, nothing else holding me back, nothing between you and I, except waiting for that date right there in Atlanta in Fulton County Stadium when you and I'll meet, when I'll start my comeback, when I'll start working my way back up the ladder, because that's what I'm going to do, step by step, until I draw it even. And then when I draw it even, Nikita, then I'm going to punish you for all the things you've been saying all this time, punish you for every arrogant word that's ever come out of that commie mouth of yours. Yes, I hold no goodwill towards you. I hold nothing but contempt. And I say it again, as I've said it time and time again. Americans are standing proud and taller than they've ever been. And God bless them. And I'm coming after you to do it my way. Not only are you going to get beat, you're going to get hurt. My style, right there at Fulton County Stadium. That's where it all starts.
And Magnum, all Americans are certainly with you. And fans, let's go to the ring.
Magnum is so good, and I don't even know how. I don't really have anything else to describe it there. He's down 3-0, and he's still coming. He's not giving up. Harper, what did you have from that?
His head looked better.
His head looked remarkably better.
Yes.
The belt sander didn't win this week.
No, and he's fucking down but not out.
Yeah.
He's not
good.
done.
He ain't done. Doc, you?
How many of those Americans that Bob Caudle said all of you are with you, Magnum, are still fighting against Russia, and how many have become comrades with Russia in 2017?
Oh, man, I'm not.
America.
I'm not even gonna to dignify that with a response.
So you really mean yet?
No, it's you're doing your bullshit politics. You want to get into
politics.
You want to bring politics into something we love,
okay,
which is
so
pro
let me
wrestling.
help you out here.
This is a fucking promo. Magnum's talking about something in 1986.
So
what does this have to do with Russia right now? Shut the fuck up.
Here's where the problem is. I'm going to come back and I'm going to hurt you. How about you show a little bit of humility and that you're going to have to dig down deep and just get one win. I can't think about all 4. I can only think about the next one. And then when he gets the next one, they build it back up and go, okay, I'm on my way. There's a story to tell there, and they're not telling it right. That's right. I know how to tell it better than the NWA did in 1986.
He's playing heel. I love it. That was good, Doc. I got to give you some credit on that one. I got to give you some credit there. Okay, let's move on.
Sure thing, comrade.
Since you got me all hot and bothered with your bullshit, and then you lay in some more heel work. Good deal.
You know, when you're listening to a classy podcast, you can't just get wrestling. You need to get some politics.
No,
and some
you
culture.
Don't. Nobody listens for politics.
And then we're coming up on Valentine's Day in a couple months. Harper can give you tips on where to take your lovely special lady.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about what you just said? Somebody's going to take that not even 30-second halfway political rant and think it was a serious discussion and be like, this is bullshit. I'm not listening no more. No, man. We're just playing, man. We're having fun. Okay.
So yeah, you mean I worked them a little bit?
You're pretty much, man. It's Oh man, let's keep going because there's a Smoky Mountain episode where we really elaborate on that going forward.
Harper and I put out a BTT manifesto on an upcoming Smoky Mountain episode.
Yeah, you really did. Let's keep going. So the match of the hour or 2 hours of this episode is upon us. We got the Rock and Roll Express versus Ole and Arn Anderson. Let me give out a couple of notes, and I want y'all to chime in on things. I got a couple of sound bites I'll play from it too. They're not real long. The first thing, the Rock and Roll Express can't even make it through the crowd to even get to the ring.
Jesus Christ.
They're being raped.
They had sex 3 times to just get into the ring.
Right. No need to spank the monkey, right, Hopper?
No.
We got like darn near 25-minute match on our hands here. And I hate to say this every week, but goddamn, it's like the fans are at a rock concert. Like, the first 5 to 7 minutes is just Ricky and Robert putting it to Arn, and it's incredible. The fans are just going nuts. You know,
yeah.
It's just hard. I don't even have words for it. It's just like, it's a rock concert. These people are they're losing their shit. So, eventually it gets turned around, and then Morton starts taking the heat. Gibson took the heat for a while. Just some incredible stuff. Doc, I'll let you talk. Tell me your thoughts on the match, and then Harper, you give me yours.
Well, first of all, they keep doing the cutaway shots to the crowd. Those people were A, into this whole scene, and B, apparently had got a memo that the Super Summer Sizzlers tour had already started. They were worked up into a lather, pal. And then I'm going to tell you, I kind of forgot I had a show to do this week watching this match, and I just sat there with my mouth open going, this is everything you'd want to see. This is... And then I kept thinking, well, is this going to go off? Holy shit, they're going to keep going. This is going to be this is going to be the rest of the show. And you're so accustomed to watching 1.5-minute matches or 2.5-minute matches or whatever. And these sons of bitches went to a 30-minute sweat fest draw that was just a clinic for everything you might want to throw into a match to get a crowd that was hot coming in, keep them at a fever pitch, and keep them hooked for next time.
Hopper, what'd you think?
Dude, they sold their asses off.
It's incredible.
Fucking rock and roll. Dude, yeah. This is one of those. This shit fucking really drew me in. I was just watching them sell their fucking asses off, and that crowd was fucking crazy.
Was with them the whole way.
Yep.
So it's funny you say that about the crowd. I got a soundbite queued up where they're working the nose on Morton in the face, and just listen to this. Just listen to it.
Tony, boy, things have been happening since we've been on break. Look at it.
David, you knew sooner or later they would go right back to the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the Rock and Roll Express went for the leg of Ole, right now the Andersons going after the nose of Ricky Morton. Not that long ago, that nose and the face severely injured.
Referee Tommy Young, nice and back away. Watch out for Ole. Ole's coming over. We are stepping right on the face.
Now I played it early so that you can hear the crowd.
To go back hold on. You need to go back and check that, because that shit was so crazy that it broke Skype on my end, and it just sounded like a bunch of digitized nonsense.
It sounds like Godzilla is fucking tearing into the building, and they're running for their lives.
Bruh, the trip part is I started it when they were working the face. And then Ole comes over and he puts his boot on Ricky's face and nose and he's smushing it down. And that's when you heard the girls and the people in the building just screaming bloody murder. That's the shrills of noise you heard. Which is, it's just incredible stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. Let me play. I've got another one queued up and you can hear the air come out of the building in this sequence of it right here.
Robinson. Here comes The Rock. Just couldn't do it. What's he gonna do to him? Trying the elbow. Ricky. Now, sideline bump. He did it this time. 1, 2. Oh, come on. Come on, Tommy.
That was 2 3/4. So close to a 3 count.
So you hear the crowd there. Ricky hits him with a crossbody, and they go down for the 2 for the false finish. And the crowd is like, it's about to happen. And then, like the air comes out the building when he doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like somebody got legit hurt, and they're like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, man. The match ends in a time limit draw. The Rock and Roll, they have both the Andersons in a sleeper hold, but it was at the time limit draw. Just the psychology threw it all away. It's just so special to see something like this. This is a time period when you didn't see this every week on TV. It meant something. It's just how you booked it. Did I miss anything, Harper?
It's an important lesson of why nobody won and everybody won.
Yes.
It just goes back to what we always say.
No one won, but they still got their shit in.
Bruh,
the crowd got fucking happy with the double sleeper.
Yeah. Man, I don't have any other words, man. This was special. This was Doc. How long did it go?
30, right?
Yeah, it was a time limit draw.
Yeah.
If you use real time, it was about 25, but still, these sons of guns, they did it. Oof.
And this hillbilly town didn't have any air conditioning in there, so it was a hot summer night in the South. You know what that's like, swamp ass. And these guys are in there. Think about Ole, man. He's in there with a bunch of kids, and he's just out there leading the charge. Jesus, this was just. You said something to me, Mike, that Stone Cold pushed people to this match back on his podcast a while back, and it's like, well, shit, no kidding.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I remember pulling it up and watching it back then. I was like, yeah, this is how you do it. Harper, did I miss anything here?
Fuck no, this is good shit.
Yeah, it was.
And that's a crowd reaction that you just don't hear anymore.
You'll never see it.
Nope. And I was thinking the last time I heard a crowd something similar to that, it had to be when Hogan came back versus The Rock.
That's true.
Was nothing like that.
Well, and that was different too, because in that situation you had like the current icon versus just a legendary figure in the business, and it was just a different dynamic all the way around. Plus, you got to remember that was at Mania, so
yeah.
That's just a different ball game.
Saturday night,
right? This is.
And we still got some more to go. We still got Dusty and bruh.
This was a house show, pal.
You better catch your breath.
Yeah. So let's we'll keep moving. Doc, I don't have any notes from Cornette here. Did Corny say anything memorable?
No.
I don't think he did. He was just introducing the Midnights right here, wasn't he? So, after that, though, like Harper just said, Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA versus the Midnight Express. And
did you see those people jumping up and down? Literally jumping up and down.
Let me tell you something, and this is where I am going to bring in politics, but I'm sorry, you're just going to have to sit with me. Shut up. I don't give a shit if we tell everybody in billboards that wrestling is fake. I think you can still go to the South in 2017 and take the same people that get hoodwinked. And here's the thing. I'll be fair. I'll be fair to everybody now. To get the people that are hoodwinked by all the politics in this country.
Thank you.
And you could have wrestling again. Because there's still a bunch of marks running around this motherfucking world. And I think you could have wrestling again. I told Mike this week, I said, if Billy Corgan is smart, he'd go get himself Kevin Sullivan off that damn island out by Seattle, and he'd book heat in the South and go get that money.
Well, you make a point about politics, because I've always said everything's a work, and I think politics is the biggest work on both sides, all three sides, I should say. Every side. I don't even want to give it three sides, but I mean, all politicians. That's if you think about a good politician, that's all they do. They sit up there and cut promos. A great politician knows how to cut promos. That's because you're selling yourself. It's wrestling 101. So I agree with you there.
Here's the thing. Everybody in this country is worked up about politics right now, but ain't nobody going to make another dime from it no matter what happens. So what does that tell me? What does that tell me? You're getting worked. So if we can work you on that level, why don't we have fun and do this with wrestling?
Well, get back to the match, because you were making a point about something with Dusty and Magnum being so over, and then the people are going nuts. Harper's talking about it. You know, they just the building came alive. Where were you going with that? Did I miss something?
People getting all lathered up.
Okay. This is insane. Harper, what were you saying about this?
They were jumping up and down like Jesus was coming.
I guess you're right, man. It's just like,
yes,
this is hard. Like these people lost their minds on this stuff.
I'm watching this. I'm like, you will never see this again.
And not even anything that remotely looks like it.
It's gone. That's
gone, and it ain't coming back ever.
Meanwhile, you're out there Saturday night busting your ass, risking your ass, and you're just trying to keep them from chanting "Death is boring."
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
So the Midnights come out in this thing, and then Dusty and Baby Doll and Magnum come out, and they're not fighting through the crowd as bad as the Rock and Roll, but they're still coming through a mass of people. And you're just never going to see that again, because nowadays you come down that ramp and you got, you know, even in ROH, you don't have, you're not, I have been telling you forever, that ramp is death. It is awful, and they ought to get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, you could drive a fucking 18-wheeler down that ramp now.
Well, Stone Cold did, actually. So, well, he not down the ramp, but you get my point.
Yeah.
But this was awesome. Now, here's the thing about the last match. It literally starts with like 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes left in the episode. So, you know, we see Corny act like he's going to mix it up with Baby Doll, but he gets the heck out of Dodge. People are going nuts. We see Dusty and Magnum then get the upper hand on the Midnight as we're going off air. Just people going crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Baby Doll's got her gear on, bro. She's ready to fucking go.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So we're I mean, I don't have anything else, Doc. You got anything from this segment before we give it a grade and Rolex?
No, I think we should grade it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a first here with the Rolex, and you can throw a flag if you want. How do you not give out a Rolex to the entire tag match with the Rock and Roll versus Ole and Arn? I'm asking. Serious question. Am I allowed to do that? We never set parameters on this stuff, but I feel like all four of those guys need a Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
Harper, what's your vote on that?
I would say that because the fucking Rock and Roll sold their fucking asses off, and Arn and Ole, I mean, they went for his face because they knew they would get a fucking response from it, and it all just worked perfectly together.
You heard the people when they went after his face. Mm-hmm. His nose that had been injured a month ago, month and a half. Doc, I'll ask you, are you going to throw a flag or what?
I was very tempted to give my Rolex to this crowd.
Oh, everybody.
And just throw it in the crowd and let them all fight over it, and they'll break it and then break each other. And that's what poor people do when you give them the scraps off your plate. But my Rolex was going to the four participants in that match, and I don't see how you could do it any other way.
We've seen a few really good matches.
That's free. That's free TV, pal.
Yeah, that's free fucking TV. That's
in 1986.
TV.
It's hard.
I didn't have to buy a ticket. I didn't have to go down to my cable company and figure out how to work that shit out. I just had to turn on the TV and sit the fuck down.
Hey, bro, and back then, like, cable was like $15 a month. And like, we still didn't have it, Doc.
I didn't get cable. I didn't get cable until probably 1990.
We were in the 90s too, because I was in high school. But yes, this was awesome. This was. If anything deserves it, this is awesome. Chanted something like that. You know what's funny? Not one dive, not one backflip, not one moonsault. Just go out there and make it happen.